So if you recognize as a child, or you yourself are not healing from an antibiotic ointment, just take away that triple and add something like bacitracin, okay? Now, a lot of people get that confused with Bactroban, which is by prescription, okay? Bacitracin is something that you can get at Fred's or Walmart or wherever you purchase your medication, okay? Now, some of the rules are changing over time with medication. That's topical, but you still have to put it up out of the reach of children, and I've decided that's on the moon because they can usually get to it fine, okay? But remember that that has to be kept in a safe place, okay? And we'll talk about a few other medicines as we go along. Can y'all still hear me back there? I'm trying really hard, but I won't be still, and that's my hardest thing, okay? It's a good thing you don't have to chase me down every day. Something that you shouldn't see happening in your children would be things like cardiac arrest, heart attack, or stroke. Now, how many in here think you might be at risk for heart attack or stroke? Besides me. I want to see somebody else, okay? All right. Anybody over the age of 17 is already starting to build up the plaque in their vessels. Well, somebody like me, you know, I was telling Sandy a while ago, my last birthday, my oldest grandson told me I was old as dirt. So anybody that's old as dirt is more at risk just because of our age. Once you get over the age of 40, well, I haven't seen that in a long, long time, okay? But I am at risk, so the things that you need to watch for is if somebody around you think is having a stroke. Generally what happens is they begin to slur, or they can't speak, or they look at you like glazed eyes, okay? Sometimes they have a little pulling, or you said she's like that all the time? Ooh, all right. So a little pulling or a little drawing in the face is usually what you see. And I'll tell you what, the people out at the School for the Deaf had been to one of my classes years ago, and the director called me and told me, he said, Loretta, you would not believe this, but we had a teacher that was having the beginning signs of stroke, and we got 911 and got her to the hospital, and she's going to be okay. But if we had not known those early signs, we probably wouldn't have done anything or known what to do. So it's just a word of caution that you need to watch people that are around you, okay? Sometimes they can have some numbness or weakness down one side. Now, if they have the pulling on this side, the numbness is going to be on the same side, okay? The problem with that is it's the left brain that's affected. If it's all happening over here, then it's the right brain. And what's the left brain? The logical piece? Is it the logical piece? And the right piece is the creative. So if it's a logical piece, these people really can't think through things. They can't tell you that they need to go to the emergency room. Now, heart attack's a different situation. How many of you at risk for heart attack? Everybody in this room. And women are, the numbers for women are way up there, just like our husbands, our spouses, boyfriends, whatever now. So just know that our numbers are getting up there pretty bad. Now, if you have a male in your environment, the males will tell you signs and symptoms of a heart attack is that excruciating pain in their chest, maybe some radiation down their arms or up into the jaw. Sometimes you find them after they've already fallen over and you don't know what happened to them. Women, however, suffer the pain, and it's an excruciating pain between the shoulder blades. It's not the same kind of pain as, you know, taking children down off of monkey bars and that sort of thing all day. So you have to think about what is that pain really doing. And I have to tell you, did I tell you I was a nurse by profession? Okay, I'm a nurse by profession. Last summer, my husband and I were camping out at Paul B. Johnson, and he decided he wanted to go to the coast to see what they had done to the bivouac. So we left Paul B. Johnson, and we were about 10 miles out of Hattiesburg, and he said, you know, my chest is hurting. I said, oh dear, just chew up some Rolaids. Did I tell you I was a nurse? All right, so, I don't know, 3 or 4 miles, he said, my chest is really hurting. Well, I can't, look like this. I'm trying to drive. And so, I said, Jerry, did you chew up that roll? Like, yeah, my chest is really, I said, chew up another one. And so, finally, he said, you got to turn around and go back. I think I'm having a heart attack. Now, this man's already had 4. Do you think he would know if he's having a heart attack or not? So, finally, I thought, ooh, I better do something. So, I got up to where I could turn around, as safely as I could, like this, And so, at that point, I looked at him, and he said, hell is that wall over there? And I'm thinking, ooh, maybe I better take his pulse. Did I tell you I was nervous? So I reached over and I took his pulse, and it was like boom, ba-boom, boom. I mean, real erratic stuff here, okay? So I said, okay. So I picked up the phone, driving 80 miles an hour. Never have done that in my life. Won't ever do it again, I hope. Called 911. And 911, goes to the police department. So they asked me where I was. I said, I don't have a clue. She said, well, help me out just a little. I said, I'm on Highway 49 coming back toward Hattiesburg. And all I see is trees on either side of me. So finally I get to a little landmark, and they're on the phone with me the whole time. I said, I think he's having a heart attack. What makes you think that? I said, coastal Rolex didn't work. But anyway, most gracious. I don't know how many of you live in that area down there. I know some of you do right here. But they met us at a point in Hattiesburg, and of course got him to the emergency room at Forest General and did a gorgeous job. But I'm thinking, I really should have known that. But I was concentrating, I guess, on the driving. I don't know what else. So sometimes when you're preoccupied, you may not be as alert as you should, okay? So think about that with yourself and with your family members and anybody over the age of 40 that's around you. Now, I have a particular thing when I talk about vomiting, diarrhea, and fever, okay? Fever, generally, schools, and y'all can correct me if it's your school if you want to say something different, but usually if the child has fever 101, he needs to go home. If he throws up 1 time, he needs to go home. If he has diarrhea 2 times, he needs to go home. Well, my point is, if he's got runny stool going down his leg in his shoe the first time, it's not going to get any better, okay? If he throws up 1 time, it might be because he overate, okay? If he has fever and he threw up, then that's a little bit more serious, okay? And what's the other thing? Diarrhea, vomiting, and fever, right? Fever 101, did I say that? Okay. All right, so here's a kid that comes to school. I'm going to give you 2 scenarios, and you tell me, Tyler, and I want to get through the first one, okay? All right. The first scenario is here's this kid, comes to school, he's hacking, coughing, got snot running all down his face. Fever's 99. Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be all right. Is he contagious? Probably so. And now he's got germs from here to here to help you out, okay? All right, the second scenario is working mom gives the child either Motrin or Tylenol. Exactly right, thank you. Gets to school exactly 9:30 or 10 o'clock, that fever's going sky. You call her, well, he didn't have fever when I brought him to school. Yeah, they drank that red stuff. Or that yucky stuff. These kids are smart. They know what's going on, okay? And then what I hear from a lot of the local daycares is that these moms will say something like, is he really sick? How soon do I need to come get him? It's not soon, Mama. It's